Hi, this is Greg Major from Blueprint Wealth. Welcome to the second in a series of 3 videos we've put together to help you locate all of your superannuation online using a set of tools that are available from the Australian Government and from the Tax Office.
Okay, so now we've set up our MyGov account, we're going to go to stage 2. And stage 2 is all about linking your MyGov account into the Australian Tax Office. And we need to do that step because it's the Australian Tax Office who, through the magic of your tax file number, is able to track all of your superannuation accounts. So you're in here at the MyGov website after you've created your account, and you've got this selection of icons, and choose this icon here at Services and just click Services and go in, and you'll see a range of services here that they'll offer you. Okay, and there's some great services there that you can link to various government departments, and the one we're interested in here is the Australian Tax Office. And you'll see here none of my accounts have been linked here to any government departments because I've just set up the MyGov link, and the one we want to connect to here is Australian Tax Office. So go through and click on this link icon here, and that'll shoot us through to the Australian Tax Office. Do we want to create the profile? We say next, and that puts us through to the Australian Tax Office. Alright, so it's asking us the question, do you already have an ATO online account? Now, I don't have an ATO online account. If you did have an ATO online account, you would click yes here, and if you did, all you would need would be your TFN and your online password that you already had, and you would automatically be connected, and that's easy. If you don't have an ATO online account, you need to go to the trouble of setting one up first, and so that's what we will do. We'll click no here if you don't have one, and click next. Now, ahead of time, you're going to need some information here, and the first bit of information is going to be your tax file number. So make sure you've got your tax file number to hand, and you're going to need various other bits and pieces of information as well as you go along, including things like notice of assessment, bank account details that you've had interest credited to you, or your group certificate from your employer. And these will be all things that will help the ATO validate that it's really you setting up your account. So type in your tax file number. I hope I can remember mine. I'll just have a quick look at my notice of assessment to make sure I've got my number right. Okie dokie. Put in my name, surname, date of birth, and you can read the terms and conditions and privacy notice. If you're happy with that, click next. Okay, and now we have to provide some of this information that I mentioned to you. Alright, so one of those is the notice of assessment. So let's include notice of assessment, one from the last 5 years. So that is, after you've submitted your tax return, the ATO provides you the summary of your notice of assessment, and you'll need that information or one of these other 3 bits of information to help you. I'm going to use the notice of assessment, but you could use a bank account that you've had a tax refund paid into, or that you've had interest credited to, your group certificate, otherwise known as your PAYG payment summary, or some information about a super account that you do know. I'm going to use the notice of assessment for this example, so I'll click next, and it's going to ask me about some of the information. So I'll just quickly flash that up again for you so you can see this is what a notice of assessment looks like. Alright, typical, it'll have this notice of assessment on it, alright, and the ATO logo there up the top. So I'll just move that off screen now so it's out of the way. What's the date of issue? And we type in the date of issue there, and the reference number of that letter. And where it says reference number, you merely look on that letterhead and type the number that says our reference. There'll be a number next to that, and just type that straight in. Okay, once you're happy with that, we click next, and they're happy with that. Now we've got to give them one more thing, and I'm going to pull out a group certificate, which is a PAYG summary, and I'm going to say next, and they're going to want to know what was the gross amount on my PAYG summary. So I just need to pull that out and type that in, and I've got a PAYG summary for one of my group certificates, and I can include that, type the amount in, click next, and they're happy. So you can see tick, I've successfully linked to the Australian Tax Office to the MyGov account. Status is linked. And that is the end of stage 2.